Well, life isn't a box of chocolates, it's a journey. Enjoy the ride? Well, that's easier said than done. What a journey these two have been on. 6 months ago, Leicester City were competing with Roma in the semi-finals of a European competition. A year ago, Middlesbrough had just inflicted a 6 defeat in 7 on Nottingham Forest, who were 1 point off the bottom of the championship. Steve Cooper, now under scrutiny for 4 successive defeats, came in soon after and steered a great historic club back to the big time. That after almost a quarter of a century. Meanwhile, Leicester City, whose relatively recent highs have included an inconceivable title win and lifting the FA Cup, are now propping up newly promoted Forest at the bottom of the Premier League table, having made the worst start to a Premier League season ever. Forest have spent like the pound was going out of fashion. Maybe they knew something. Spending was rather thrifty here. Life is a journey. Try to have perspective. Enjoy the ride. But lose a big derby like this, Danny Murphy, and you might just come to the end of the road.
Well, I think that certainly might be true, Sam, for Brendan Rodgers. I'm not so sure, obviously, on the other side of the fence for Nottingham Forest. I think tonight is a must-win for Leicester. There's no excuses, no bad luck. Excuse me. It's not a night where you care too much about the performance. It's about winning the game, getting these fans back believing that you can stay in the division, because there has been a lot of negativity. But what a brilliant reception from the supporters. I have to say, I thought there'd be more negativity. I didn't expect this to be as electric as it is with the form they've had at home.
Well, the 11 that are going to feed off this electric crowd are Danny Ward, who keeps his place despite the statistics that suggest his save percentage is the worst in the league. Castagna, Bass, Evans and Justin make up the back four. Ndidi will hold in midfield. Dewsbury, Hall, Tielemans alongside Maddison and Barnes behind Jamie Vardy, who's looking to break another record tonight. Dean Henderson is the Nottingham Forest goalkeeper. Williams, Cook, McKenna and Loddy are back four for the first time since last February. Koyate and O'Brien hold in midfield, with Gibbs, White, Lingard and Johnson supporting Awonyi in attack. Leicester City all in blue, shooting from right to left in the first half. It's the red shirts, white shorts and red socks of Nottingham Forest, shooting from left to right. This week is manic. Tuesday night, Wednesday night and Thursday night we've got live European football on Talksport. The best way to wake up with Laura Woods and Ali McCoist, and the home of great debate with White and Jordan. But first, the first Premier League meeting for over 23 years between Leicester and Nottingham Forest is live and exclusive and only on Talksport. And Danny Murphy, who once upon a time, only once, had to help steer Fulham away from relegation. Leicester City have played better than Forest over the course of the season, especially going forward. I wonder if that makes them favourites. Here's Vardy early doors, trying to get in behind. Gives it to Dewsbury Hall, who shoots from the left edge of the area, and it's well over the top of the crossbar.
Positive start from Leicester. Little mistake in the middle of the park from O'Brien. Last thing you want to be doing when you're away from home is giving possession away in your own half.
Well, it's been a long 16 days for Leicester since their last game, the 6-2 defeat at Tottenham Hotspur. The Foxes have conceded 11 goals in the last 2 Premier League games, taking their total this season to 22, the most of any club in the opening 7 games of a Premier League season. In fact, you have to go back 57 years for the last time that a top division team conceded 22 in their first 7 games, and that was West Ham. Here's Johnson down the right for Nottingham Forest, charging down towards the corner flag. He's stopped by Wout Faes and James Justin, and the ball is smuggled behind, and it's away for the first corner of the game, and it goes Nottingham Forest's way.
Yeah, good response from Forest, wasn't it? End to end, like we thought, even in the first minute.
Well, Leicester City and Nottingham Forest have both had problems with corners. Conceded 3 already, Leicester City, from corners this season, and conceded 16 last season, which was the joint most in Opta's record book. Ball delivered into the area, it's flicked away this time, out to the edge of the box, smacked goalwards by O'Brien, takes another deflection, goes over the top of the crossbar and goes out and away for another corner. Johnny Evans not happy about that, thought there was some pushing inside the area, and Rob Jones, who is the referee, is saying that there was nothing doing. Jones actually ended up on the floor.
I think it would have been a free kick if anything had happened, but obviously they don't pull it back if there's no goal. I think I'm still amazed watching Leicester on a set play. I mean, I know they've been working on them. They don't have anyone on the post, Sam. It's unbelievable. When you conceded that many, I'd have two men on either. I'd have one on each post, two men there.
Koyate's going towards the near post, but the header is away by Dewsbury Hall. Overhead kick from Cook. The ball lands on the right side of the area for Johnson, but he's in an offside position coming back from that, and it's going to be a free kick right on the edge of the Leicester City box on the left-hand side as they look at it. It's 0-0. We play 2.5 minutes. Forest beginning the night 2 points from safety, but with a game in hand over Wolverhampton Wanderers, and have already dispensed with their manager over the weekend, Bruno Lage. And both these managers coming in with a little bit of heat under their feet. Here's Justin. Short free kick played out to him, up the left touchline into Barnes on the halfway line, carries it well, sends it into Dewsbury Hall, who charges over the halfway line and feeds Vardy, who's in the left wing position for Leicester City, but he had strayed and the flag has gone up, and it's going to be a free kick to Forest.
It was good though, good hold up from Barnes, I think it was, on the left hand side, and little flick inside to Dewsbury Hall. It was a nice play, good interchange of passes there down this left side. He likes to come out there, doesn't he, Dewsbury Hall, and link with Barnes. It's going to be an area that could be fruitful for them.
Well, it's a sixth start in a row for Harvey Barnes, who had a bit of a slow start to the season because of a knee injury sustained in pre-season. He scored against Chelsea. He's got 3 goals and 4 assists in his last 9 appearances. He is a brilliant little player, Harvey Barnes. This one's not bad either. Madison picking the ball up, left side of the centre circle, feeding Vardy. It's a bit behind him. It drives him wide into the left corner of the Nottingham Forest half. He links up with Barnes. Barnes across the 18-yard line, trying to pick out Tielemans. He's done that. Encouraged to shoot. He can't because he's blocked off by Lodi. It goes back to the right in Castagna, and Leicester go deeper to Bill with Johnny Evans. Far right side, 3-4 yards in from the touchline. The ball picked up by Tielemans, then Madison centrally, and then all the way back to the halfway line via Justin to Fass at the heart of the defence. He flicks the ball out towards the far side. It lands at the feet of Castagna. Madison wanted that early and made a good run in behind, didn't get it. He's got it now though from Tielemans, and he's picked the ball up and he's wandered centrally. There's space here for Dewsbury Hall, who gets it caught under his feet. He's engaged by Koyate, but he's squeezed it out to Barnes, who's left corner of the area, and then sends across into the box, flicked into the air by Cook, drops on the edge of the area. Dewsbury Hall trying to keep hold of it. It's popped into Vardy, who's trying to get free inside the box. He does get a shot away, takes the bobble, might come back to Madison, but Lodi stuck out a foot and steered it away. Madison continues the charge. Leicester on top here by the byline, weaving back in on his left foot, then back on his right. Lodi ends up on his backside. It's into Dewsbury Hall. And how has he missed the header from 4 yards out? Well, he has. He steered it wide. A brilliant bit of play from Madison, and Dewsbury Hall was there, and all he needed to do was just touch it on target, and that would have been 1-0 Leicester.
Well, Madison's running the show already. It's wonderful play from him. Chops it on that right hand side. A little dink to the middle of the goal. Harder to miss. Maybe, I don't know what he's thinking. It's kind of spun off his forehead, gone past the left hand post. It's a wonderful opportunity. He's not going to get a better chance than that all evening. Phenomenal play from Madison though.
Poor old Renan Lodi has probably got twisted blood vessels after that. Here is Johnson at the other end, combining with Awonyi and getting down into the right corner as Nottingham Forest look at it. He's turning and trying to get away from James Justin, and Justin manages to force it into an error, and the ball goes out on this near side. Brennan Johnson trying to do what his dad did in a East Midlands derby and score in a game between Leicester and Nottingham Forest. Ball flicked into the air, and Leicester trying to get it away from the edge of their box. Fass with a header, his curly hair flopping in the wind as the ball breaks towards the right. It's back with Morgan Gibbs-White, who flicks it down the right corner. There is a foul here on Brennan Johnson. It's right on the edge of the area. Robert Jones has gone across to check on whether or not he's okay.
He doesn't know, the ref.
Wilfred Ndidi, who has been a little bit rash over the course of the season so far and not been in particularly good form, is the man who's committed the foul.
It's not a foul. He's guessed the referee. It's not a foul. He's hardly touched him.
Well, let's just say it's a little bit soft. I think we'll probably come down on on that side of the fence. It is a free kick though, in a dangerous position, and bearing in mind what we told you about the corner defending that Leicester are unable to do, this is like a short hockey corner because it's about 15 yards in from the corner flag, and it's down the side of the penalty area on the right. There's a two-man wall that Leicester are putting together. I'm not sure that's in the right place really. It's a little bit too close to the byline, and it's Maddison and Barnes trying to block off that near post. There are 6 red shirts to aim at for Nottingham Forest. This is a dangerous situation.
Edge of the box is free.
Loddy is going to take it, left-footed. On the edge of the box and lurking with intent is Jesse Lingard. It's sent in towards that near post, and it's flicked away by, I think it was Vardy getting back there and heading it behind. It's away for a third corner for Nottingham Forest, and we've played 7 minutes, and it's goalless on Talksport. Game night with Danny Murphy, Sam Matterface, Adrian Durham here as well. We're bringing you the East Midlands derby. Nottingham Forest away at Leicester City tonight. Loads of live football upcoming tomorrow night. We've got Champions League football, and Wednesday night as well. Chelsea against AC Milan, Manchester United in the Europa League on Thursday, and Celtic on Wednesday as well on Talksport 2 early doors. Here's Gibbs White into the near post, flicked away by Fass, edge of the area, the ball's dropping, it's away by Maddison, further clear, and Nottingham Forest pick it up just in front of their centre circle, and Renan Loddy sees it all the way back to Dean Henderson. Here's Danny Murphy.
Yeah, defending the corners well so far. I think one thing Forest are going to have to work out quite quickly is what to do about Maddison, because when he comes away from Loddy, I think it's O'Brien in the middle of the park from Forest left side has got to be aware of him popping in behind him, because he's very good at choosing when to come in and when to stay wide, and so far he's the one causing Forest the problems.
Anyone who watched that Tottenham Hotspur game when Leicester were defeated by 6 goals to 2 will probably tell you that there were large portions of that game when Leicester were the better side in the match.
Indeed, yeah.
Nottingham Forest looking to try and make a fast start, as they have done regularly in the Premier League this season. They've got the 4th best record in first halves in the Premier League this campaign, the worst in the second half. And they're hoping to try and rectify that. The ball has been picked up by Evans, just right of the centre circle. He's clipped it down the right touchline, and chasing after it is the Belgian Timothy Castagna, beaten to it, and it's cleared away by Lingard, and it's up towards the halfway line.
See, even then Maddison came in from the right, Loddy followed him, left a big gap for Castagna to bomb into. Everything's going through it. That is a problem for Forest, big
Maddison
time.
onto the right, cross from Castagna, but it's a little bit too deep. It goes right through the 6-yard area and comes out the other side. It's with Barnes, who tries to come back in on his right foot, sets up Justin, doesn't score too many goals, but he flicks the ball goalwards anyway. It took a little deflection and rippled the top of the net, and it's the first corner of the game for the home side. It's been a lively, entertaining start, as you usually get in Nottingham Forest and Leicester games.
Wide open, Sam, wide open. As I say, O'Brien, I don't know why they haven't worked on that. He's got to be closer to Loddy to stop Maddison have the freedom of when to come in and when to go out. It's going to continue to be a problem for them.
Well, if I told you earlier on that Leicester City's corner statistics in terms of defending is bad, Nottingham Forest is even worse. They've conceded 5 goals from the corners this season, the most in the Premier League. Quick one, short one, taken into Maddison. A little back heel to try and get around the corner, but O'Brien was alert to the danger, and it was well defended. Nico Williams gets it to the halfway line, and then Justin would scurry back into his own half, and he gives it back to Danny Ward, the Leicester City goalkeeper, who rolls it back out to the right fullback position where Justin now is. There's 2 fullbacks who have switched over because of the corner. Justin and Castagna can play either side, actually.
You see, you talk about decision making with players, right? You've just given a stat there about Forest inadequacies on corners, and Maddison decides to play it short. You know, you just got to think about your game sometime. Of course, I'm a fan of Maddison, you know that, but these are the type of things that the coaching staff should be. The first corners, first 4 or 5, they're going in. If we have no joy, yeah, maybe mix it up, be creative, but not the first one, for God's sake.
Did that look like a set piece that had been crafted by Lars Knudsen?
Yeah, but the reason it was never on is because Forrest took 2 out, so he had a 2v2, wasn't even on.
Ball sent long and high out towards the right fullback position as Nottingham Forest look at it. Leicester trying to pick out Barnes, didn't quite happen for them first time, but Maddison's wrestled it back, and he's a lovely little ball into Dewsbury Hall, whose strike is towards the far corner, and it goes wide of the left hand upright, never really troubling Dean Henderson, but Dewsbury Hall has had a couple of efforts already in the game, and maybe should have already put Leicester City in front with a clear header. That one probably a little bit under pressure to get a clean strike on the ball, Danny.
Yeah, great feat from Maddison. Finds Dewsbury Hall, who tries to cut across it and just doesn't quite get it. But the header was the one. It's the one that'll be in the back of his mind. The one that'll keep replaying over and over in his head, as you do when you're playing out there and you've missed a sitter. But he's getting in good positions. That's the main thing.
You're listening to Leicester 0, Nottingham Forest 0 on Talksport with Now Sports. Don't forget, with Now Sports you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Leicester versus Nottingham Forest live right now for $11.99. No contract. Search Now Sports. Dewsbury Hall wins a header just left of the centre circle. He nudges it into Maddison, then brought down by Tielemans. Tielemans back to Castagna, and then all the way back to Danny Ward. Leicester have endured their joint worst start to a season in league history, but Brendan Rodgers has been pretty clear this week that he is the best person to turn it around, and he knows that when you're on this kind of run you're not going to be the most popular fella in the county. Here is Barnes down the left, trying to get the better of Nico Williams, who's one of the most attacking players for Nottingham Forest this season. Back to Cook, who sends it long, but Justin keeps them pinned in. The ball ricochets on the edge of the Nottingham Forest penalty area, and Maddison is alert to it. He's picked it up, but Coyote has come across and nabbed it, and now a chance to break for Nottingham Forest, and it's well won by Gibbs White under pressure from Ndidi. They win it back again, Leicester. They turn it round, and they take on Williams down his left-hand side, who's late with a challenge on Barnes. And Rob Jones goes across and has a word with Nico Williams, gives away a free kick. It's midway between the halfway line and the 18-yard box, right on the touchline on the near side, the Leicester left. And Williams a little bit late there with a little nibble on Barnes, and I think he's a little bit fortunate not to go in the book, Danny Murphy.
Similar to Grealish, wasn't it, yesterday in the derby when he flew past Dallow. It's a yellow card, he got away with one. Maybe the ref's thinking early on in the derby, but some refs do, some refs don't. Good play, nice and positive, wasn't it, from Barnes? I always like that from a winger, saying, come on then, see what you've got, come and run with me, or bring me down.
Maddison with a delivery towards the far post. It's a brilliant ball in towards Vardy, and it's narrowly wide. Well, it was an excellent arcing ball just towards the near side of the penalty spot. There's a few accusations that he might have been offside, but I think he made his run time brilliantly. He was miles onside. He flicked that ball goalwards. He was narrowly off target. He's still looking for his first goal of the season, Jamie Vardy.
What was clever about that was the deepness he came from, how deep he came with the run. It was really cute, really clever, worked on. Just a little bit behind him, he couldn't quite get the direction. But Vardy's ability, you'd expect him to maybe hit the target, but two great changes in again.
And here he is down the left channel, played in by Dewsbury Hall, into the area, right footed, drives the ball goalwards, and it's an easy save for Dean Henderson down in front of the goal away to our left. He was just driven a little bit wide. He wanted to come back in on his right foot, and when he did do that, the angle was so tight because he'd got a little bit too far forward with the ball, and as a result of that, it was an easy stop for the England goalkeeper Dean Henderson.
Brilliant play from Barnes again, coming in off that left-hand side, skipping round his man and playing a superb through ball for Vardy, who should have done better.
Here is Lewis O'Brien, wearing 14, playing it wide towards the left. Picked up by Loddy and then sent back to Cook, and then all the way out to Williams on this near touchline. Forward it goes, up to Gibbs White, flicked by Johnson, hits Justin, goes out in front of Brendan Rodgers, who's wearing a dapper suit down in front of us. Steve Cooper not wearing a suit tonight. He's wearing a very trendy jacket, actually. I see a lot of people in those jackets, but this one's, I think, must be designer because it's got a yellow and maroon stripe down the back.
You're asking the wrong man.
I know.
Oh dear.
That's why I wasn't asking.
But you looked at me as if you think I'd know, but age you, man.
16 minutes gone. We're listening to Leicester 0, Nottingham Forest 0. This is Talksport. And remember, when you wake up tomorrow morning, you can ask your smart speaker to put on Talksport. Ali McCoyce will be there reviewing this action with Laura Woods. Ball thrown down the left touchline. It's flicked on by Barnes. It's another foul on him, and it's going to be a free kick just over the halfway line, wide left as Leicester look at it, in front of Steve Cooper's technical area.
Good start from Leicester. He'll be really happy other than not scoring a goal. Better possession, better shots, better chances, got the fans behind them. Two really good chances, actually. Really positive start.
He's a lot more upbeat in his press conference this week after his trip to Loch Lomond with his staff and pressing the reset button, Brendan Rodgers. Here is Brennan Johnson scampering down the right side for Nottingham Forest, looking for a return from Morgan Gibbs-White, which is snuffed out by James Justin. Good defending by him. Fast gets it back to his goalkeeper, and Leicester once again wrestle possession back very quickly from Nottingham Forest, who haven't seen much of the ball in the opening 17 minutes of the game. 69%, 64% now possession for Leicester City. Kick down the right by Evans, looking for the run of Castagna. Castagna sends it towards the edge of the box. Vardy's not going to get there ahead of Cook, who flicks it into the air. Dewsbury Hall trying to keep it alive. Piarte dropping deep to try and stop him, but it's only half cleared by Nottingham Forest, and Barnes is coming back at Williams again. There was a handball there by Williams, and it's going to be a free kick again on the angle of the penalty area. Nico Williams has now got that yellow card, which I think was always coming.
Loddy doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know whether to go in with Maddison or stay in his back four line. He should be staying in his line, so Lingard doesn't have to make 70-yard runs with Castagna down the right wing. It's a problem, and they will get done if they keep doing that. Loddy's got to pass Maddison on into the central midfielders. We've got to be closer to the back four, otherwise going to be a long evening.
Well, this is a great opportunity for James Maddison to cultivate a chance. Right on the left, he's about 7 or 8 steps back from the corner of the penalty area. He'll whip it in right-footed, probably towards the penalty spot area, and hope that someone in blue can attack it. Evans is up from the back. Barnes is lurking, being watched by Williams. Dewsbury Hall, Vardy and Castagna just trying to manoeuvre a position. I wonder if Ndidi here is going to be used as a blocker for Vardy to make a run. Indeed, that's exactly what he's done. And actually, if Barnes hadn't touched that ball, which was whipped in towards the near post for Vardy to attack, then Vardy would have had a great opportunity to tuck it past the goalkeeper.
Yep, it was a good in-swinger, wasn't it? A bit low, and it looked like it was heading towards Vardy, who'd made another great run. Barnes tried to stick his leg out and hold it in.
Here's Johnson down the other end. Ward comes out and he just dangled his arms out. Johnson just managed to get a hold of the ball, but it was far wide and he knew he couldn't do anything with it. It ended up going straight out of play, but that was a little bit of a warning for Leicester City, who were just maybe a little bit misshapen because they didn't have a left full-back anywhere near that far side. Both Castagna and Justin still out of position from the corner, and then that Dewsbury Hall was back deep defending. Here's Fass being pursued by Awonyu.
That's 2 or 3 times Fass has really made an impact coming out with the ball from the back, giving Forest a problem.
Here is Maddison again picking a hole in the Nottingham Forest defence. He swirls the ball out towards Barnes. A great ball into Barnes, who tries to take on Johnson and Williams. It goes off Johnson and out of play and away for a throw-in down by the corner flag. And with 20 minutes gone, it's still Leicester 0, Nottingham Forest 0. But it's a really good start from Leicester City. They've had 7 shots on goal, 1 on target, and they have forced the best opportunity of the game when Dewsbury Hall misfired from 4 yards out with a header. Piarte back in the team again today, tries to steer the ball to halfway. Fass, who's one of only 2 recruits in the summer for Brendan Rodgers, guides it back to Danny Ward, who's about 10 yards outside his 18-yard box. He sends it wide. Castagna on the right into Evans, who won his 100th cap for Northern Ireland in the international break. He's only the 4th player to do that for Northern Ireland. And then they try and build down the left, but that's not a great ball from Justin, and Williams has seized upon it. It's up towards Jesse Lingard, who's trying to roll Johnny Evans, and successfully done a number on his former teammate, and won a free kick midway inside the Leicester half.
Yeah, Forest have just got to settle themselves down and make some passes, keep the ball. Got to get the midfield too, demanding it more. Because if they stay too long without the ball in this game with the quality Leicester have got, they will get undone. They've got to try and dominate possession a little bit more.
Well, they know that they can threaten this Leicester defence, because they've done it a couple of times, and there's not many encouraging signs amongst Leicester's defensive stats that they'll be able to withstand much pressure.
Correct.
They've conceded the most goals in the league from open play, the joint most from set pieces, and the most from outside the box. Here's Williams delivering a ball deep towards the far post. Out comes Danny Ward, who came quite a distance there and rather assertively took that out of the sky. And there's a healthy round of applause.
Did well. Good decision. Made it his own. Doing the world of good.
And
what's a ball?
Brendan Rodgers actually asked the crowd to get behind their team. They've certainly done that, and they're singing Danny Ward's name to try and help his confidence as well. Brilliant ball sent out wide towards the right. The return ball to the left wasn't great, but still Leicester have profited and gained some yardage with Barnes down to Dewsbury Hall, who's just about going to keep this in, producing a cross to the centre, flicked away by McKenna, picked up by Lingard on the edge of the area, and now Nottingham Forest look to escape. Down the left with Renan Loddy, back into Lingard, who's just left of the centre circle. He motors up to halfway. It's in towards Morgan Gibbs-White, who then tries to feed Awonyi, who's in behind the defence. He takes on Ward, tucks it past him and hits the outside of the post. And what a chance that was for Awonyi to put Nottingham Forest into the lead. A brilliant break by Nottingham Forest, a lovely ball by Gibbs-White, and Awonyi just couldn't find the finishing touch.
Forest best move of the game, involving Lingard, finding Gibbs-White, and a lovely little cute pass in behind for Awonyi, who should score. 1-on-1. Beats the keeper but comes back off the post.
Maybe a bit of fortune for Leicester City.
Yeah.
Now they break away on the left with Barnes trying to get to the edge of the box. He tries to take on Williams. Williams touched the ball last. It's out for another corner.
Well, that's what we said, isn't it? End to end, two teams going at it, both understanding the weakness of the other. I'm still convinced I was right. Can't be 0-0, Sam. Can't be.
Yeah, I mean, it don't look like it's going to be 0-0, although someone's missed from 4 yards and someone's missed a one-on-one.
True.
Don't curse it.
That was a big moment in the game, that, you know.
Huge moment, because Danny Ward, if he's beaten there,
it's the fans' reaction that would have been the problem.
Yeah. What was it? Ian Stringer said on White and Jordan today, they'll get 15 minutes. The ball's in towards the near post. It comes back to Vardy, who might have handballed it as it dropped. He did. Rob Jones blows his whistle. Yeah, it was interesting actually listening to White and Jordan earlier on. Ian Stringer, who is a Leicester City reporter, a Leicester City fan, who's been on Talksport a couple of times in the last couple of weeks, and he was saying, you know, the relationship between the manager and the supporters has been damaged, and actually they'll get 15 minutes tonight, and then if it's not going their way, they might turn. They've held them a little bit longer than that, but as you rightly say, it will be interesting to gauge the reaction if things do go against them.
Yeah, well, I think the quality of the football so far from Leicester and the attitude and application keeps your fans on board, because they can see they're at it. You know, they're making okay, they've conceded one chance, but they've dominated the majority of the game. They've made the best chances, so they should stay with them. They've had a lot of good times here the last few years, punched above the weight in 2 5th finishes and winning the FA Cup.
Great touch from Dewsbury Hall has been brilliant again, and on to Maddison, who's running the game at the moment, playing it from the left side of the centre circle out wide towards Barnes, who trickles up towards the edge of the box, comes in on his right foot, pokes it back to Maddison. Maddison looks up, needs some sort of outlet, finds Tielemans, who can shoot from distance. He goes one way, then cuts back in on his left, works it back to Barnes. It's patient build up from Leicester. Barnes into the area, right-footed strike, takes a deflection away by Williams, comes back to Maddison, who will hit it, takes a deflection and in. And Leicester City have liftoff in the game and maybe in their season. And it's no surprise to anyone that it's James Maddison who's provided the inspiration. Leicester City 1, Nottingham Forest 0. The help of a little deflection off Jesse Lingard as he struck it. It meant that Henderson was stranded, but it doesn't change the scoreboard. It's Leicester 1, Forest 0.
Well, it's been coming. It really has, and he's the man it's been coming from. They got a bit fortunate with the deflection, but they've deserved it. They can't sort the Maddison problem out. It's good relentless, it's good pressure, it's lots of good play to get him into this position. Yes, there's the deflection, but when Maddison keeps coming in off that right-hand side, the central midfielders have got to be there to pick him up, because Loddy can't play man-to-man against him.
It was McKenna who it flicked off his chest, actually, wasn't it?
I'm gobsmacked and I'm shocked that they haven't sorted out the Maddison problem before the game started. If he plays wide, this is what he's going to do. It's not a winger. He's going to come in behind Vardy and try and pick up the ball. O'Brien and Karate, where are you? Why are you so far ahead of the ball? Why are you not closer to your centre-halves? And why is O'Brien not speaking to Loddy or vice versa, telling him when he's coming behind him? Because he's running the game and he's having it easy.
You're listening to Leicester 1, Nottingham Forest 0 on Talksport with Car Finance 24/7. Search Car Finance 24/7 today. Madison again has the ball, pinging the ball long and high and out towards the left where it's picked up by Vardy. It's a beautiful ball, beautifully dripped in by Madison. Onto Barnes, who's encouraged to shoot. Right-footed, he does it to the far corner with a brilliant curling effort, which is out of the reach of Henderson. And this game might already be out of the reach of Nottingham Forest. It's Leicester 1. Nottingham Forest 0 for only seconds, because the second goal has been scored in quick succession by Harvey Barnes, and now the Foxes are 2-0 in front.
Well, I'm going to sound boring, Sam, but why did that happen? Because Dewsbury Hall had an easy pass to Madison, was able to get his head up, ping the 50-yard ball out wide, and Harvey Barnes, who's been terrific, he's got Williams on a yellow card, he's running at him, he cuts inside and bends it in the top, nearly the top corner, bottom corner, sorry.
Brilliant effort on the right edge of the area, right-footed towards the far corner, and it was nowhere near Dean Henderson. He couldn't get anywhere near it at all.
This could be a cricket score if Forest don't sort themselves out. They're all over the place.
Well, even the most ardent of Leicester City fan will be getting excited about the opening half an hour, but I'm sure they will be quickly reminded that they've been in this position before. Whoever took the lead tonight, you wouldn't trust them. Leicester have already dropped 11 points from winning positions so far this season, so nothing is certain at the King Power Stadium until the full-time whistle blows.
Well, you talked about their second half statistics, didn't you? I think they probably need another 2 this half to be safe.
2-0. And you're listening to Talksport. 28 minutes on the clock. Steve Cooper does not look at all happy. He looks furious. Defending has been a little bit shoddy from Nottingham Forest. They went to a back 4. It hasn't really worked for them, has it?
It's very simple. It's bizarre because he's a good coach. I don't understand. When you play a 4 and a 2 screeners, and they have 2 players who want to come inside in those pockets, well, especially Madison, the work in training before is who's going to pick him up and what areas are you going to pick him up. If Loddy's going to follow him man for man, Lingard's got to end up playing left back. If not, you pass him on to O'Brien, who doesn't run out and try press Tielemans. Do you know what it looks like? The first 28 minutes of this game looks like a Premier League team playing a Championship side. That's what it looks like to me.
Well, the last time these two played each other, it was the other way round. And it was a Premier League team playing a Championship side, but Nottingham Forest, who were the second-tier outfit that day, looked like the better team. They won 4-1, ripped them apart, and Brendan Rodgers afterwards did say, actually, and he said in the build-up to this game, we weren't at it that day, we weren't ready for it, we have to be better. I think they looked for a little bit of revenge tonight. I spoke to Dewsbury Hall on Friday afternoon, and I said to him, are you using that as motivation? He said, you're damn right we are.
Yeah.
Half an hour played. So,
do you know when people talk about small details in games of football? This place is buzzing and Leicester are 2-0 up, looking in control of the game. One break away from Forest at 0-0 that hits the post could have turned this game on its head. That's the amazing thing about this game we love.
Indeedy wins the ball in the sky, takes it down, juggles with it, then sends it wide towards the left. Barnes now back infield to Tielemans, and now Madison engaged by Loddy this time, and then doubled up by O'Brien. And this time they managed to come away with the ball, Nottingham Forest, who trailed by 2-0 in the East Midlands derby. Back to Henderson, who's conceded another 2 goals today. Up over the halfway line it goes. One by Gibbs-White, forward by O'Brien. Fass is going to get there first and see it back to Danny Ward. But to step up to the Premier League has been an issue for Nottingham Forest, I'm sure, and the influx of new faces has wreaked havoc with one of the best defences in the country last year. Forest have conceded 17 Premier League goals before tonight, 19 now. Here's Vardy, might make it 20, doesn't. It's saved by Henderson and cleared away. But 19 goals so far. Bournemouth have conceded 19. Leicester 22 have conceded the most this season. But they're facing more shots than they were this time last year. In the Championship, it was 10.8 a game. They're facing 17 on average, Nottingham Forest. That tells you the whole team, not just the defence, isn't functioning properly.
It's it's a little bit unfair to judge. I mean, the whole season I haven't seen all the games and they've played 3 at the back. There's a change of system tonight, so I'll give them a little bit of leeway for that. But when you change your system and you come away from home, you still want some solidity. When you play 4 at the back, the solidity comes from the 2 holding midfielders. The distances from their holding midfielders to their 2 centre-halves is too big. It's ridiculous. And I can't believe that the Forest manager cannot see this, because it's so damn obvious. It's killing them.
Eintracht Frankfurt against Tottenham is live tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Jim Proudfoot and former England defender Stuart Pearce on commentary. Stuart doubling up tomorrow. He's on breakfast for a bit after 8 o'clock. Inter Milan against Barcelona is also on Talksport 2. Inter against Barca with Ian Danta and David Connolly. Okay. Wednesday night, Leipzig against Celtic. Watford against Swansea and Chelsea AC Milan are all live on Talksport and Talksport 2 on Wednesday night. So a bumper week of action for you, and we've started in style with 2 goals for Leicester City and an East Midlands derby, and Steve Cooper with a conundrum to solve. They've got to come back from 2 goals down in this game, and the Nottingham Forest fans, who haven't made a very long journey down the M1 from Nottingham, look pretty glum-faced so far. I mentioned they average conceding 17 shots on their goal. They've already had 11 so far. Here's Maddison picking the ball up in space inside the Forest half once more. He plays it wide onto Castagna. He's got 3 to aim at in the centre, but gives it to Maddison once again. Castagna trying to take on Lodi. Turns, runs back towards the edge of the area. It wasn't a great pass back to Maddison, and then Tielemans keeps it moving. Back to Maddison, wide on the right side, almost touching the chalk of the touchline. Turns the ball back infield, and it goes all the way back to Tielemans, who turns it to his captain Johnny Evans. That's for the latest odds. Let's head to lapbrooks.com, where right now it's 20 to 1 on for Leicester to win. The draw 14 to 1. The Forest victory is 40 to 1. And that's all thanks to Ladbrokes. Play at ladbrokes.com, 18 plus, begambleaware.org. Yellow card comes out for Chiarte for a challenge on the edge of the penalty area on Dewsbury Hall. In fact, it was right on the edge of the D. He pushed him from behind, and a little nibble at him as well, and that's going to be a free kick in James Maddison territory.
This could be game over if this goes in. Same things keep happening.
Well,
sometimes the system doesn't work. Sometimes the players don't quite get it. Sometimes better quality can cause you issues that you can't quite get to grips with. It's down to the coach to spot it, change it, and deal with it. Now, you could argue some players can take responsibility out there, but this is a new side. Not many of them with too many of them with Premier League experience. It needs a change because they can't keep doing what they're doing.
6 months since they last played this system, Nottingham Forest. 6 months and 23 new players. 34 minutes on the clock. 2-0 to Leicester City against Nottingham Forest. Free kick for James Maddison, and this is a good 24 yards from goal, and it's dead centre, and there's a 5-man Nottingham Forest wall. He steps up, right-footed, round the wall and into the corner with a brilliant goal, his second of the day. And once again James Maddison delivers to the Foxes, and he and Leicester are coming up with a timely reminder of their quality, maybe just in the nick of time for Brendan Rodgers. We haven't played 40 minutes yet,
goalkeeper,
and it's Leicester 3, Nottingham Forest 0.
Goalkeeper.
Well, it's a brilliant hit. The goalkeeper's not going to get there no matter what happens, is he?
The rule on free kicks, I mean, I took them for years. You should never score the goalkeeper's side, really, but there is a lot of men in front of him. It's a great technique to get the ball inside the post. Of course it is. We know he's capable, but he should be saving that comfortably.
I mean, that is about as far towards his left-hand side as possible.
You only get done as a keeper over the wall. You only get done. It's the golden rule. Ask any keeper.
Is it because it's so central? It's very difficult to try and set up.
That was very similar. I had one years ago at Old Trafford with Barthez, and he left me that side, and he guessed, and I went that way, and it went in. But it should never have. People said it was a good free kick. It wasn't really. It was a pass into the net. Same as that one. It's a decent strike, but keeper should really never be letting that in. But it doesn't matter. It's 3-0, it's done, and it'll be more because they don't know what they're doing in this system.
few Leicester City fans that still don't believe it's done. It's 3-0.
It's done.
Even Leicester can't throw it away from here, can they?
Well, some Forest fans I saw leave when that went in.
Maybe they've just gone down to get a half-time pint. Or 6. Here is Gibbs White.
I wonder if Gareth Southgate's here or watching at home. I hope he is watching, because Maddison's terrific and he's showing that he can play the wide role tonight and come in and cause problems. I know he's playing against Forest, not Brazil or Argentina, but you know what I mean. He's constantly causing teams problems, he's making things happen, and his numbers are better than nearly everyone else playing in his position.
Well, the Leicester fans are on their feet and they are making one hell of a noise. Brendan Rodgers just standing a little bit more comfortably than he has been in recent matches, down on the edge of the technical area. That reset button seems to have worked. See, sometimes all you have to do is just unplug it, turn the power off and then turn it back on again. Everything works
well
fine.
If everyone was as lucky just to whiz off to Loch Lomond for a little break, we might all be alright, won't we?
You've played it.
I haven't, I want to though.
It's on your bucket list.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Here is Koyate, just short of the centre circle, with Nottingham Forest 3-0 behind away at their
He's been awful as well.
local rivals. Don't mince your words.
Well, no, the two central midfielders have had no awareness of what's going on. Use some brains, use some game intelligence. Get closer to your back four, give them an hand. Maddison's running the game. Make some decisions, make some tackles. You know, it's so bad.
Well, the chairman is here tonight, hoping to see their first win of the season, Leicester City. But I think he probably couldn't have picked a better night to come. Here's Steve Cook being hunted by Dewsbury Hall. It's back to Williams and then away by Cook. Up over the halfway line. Fast with the header clear. It bounces in midfield for O'Brien. Nottingham Forest need to get something back before half-time if they're going to have any hope in this game. Maddison scurrying back into position to help out his defence now. The ball deflects out to the wide right. Nottingham Forest have it. It's taken in by Williams and then back to Steve Cook. Cook floats the ball far side towards Renan Lodi, who just about keeps it in, does well actually to keep it in, then takes on Maddison, lays it back towards Lingard, and then Lingard finds Steve Cook. 3-0 to Leicester City. Live on Talksport tonight. A little flick by Johnson through the legs of Justin. One back towards Johnson again, and Johnson now Saloms towards the edge of the Leicester penalty area, plays it square, edge of the box, a chance for Lingard. Lingard took too long and it bounces straight into Tielemans and comes back out to Koyate. Lodi back into the box towards the 1 year away by Fast. Then O'Brien recycles it and gives it to Williams, but there is an offside flag that has gone up against the Wonyi. But Jesse Lingard had a great opportunity there and he just dawdled on the chance. He should have hit it first time.
It was a good move from Forest. First little bit of interchange of pass. It was Gibbs White down the right hand side. Ends up coming to Lingard on the edge of the box. Got to hit it first time. He takes a touch. As soon as he takes a touch, second touch, third touch, Tielemans is in. Good block. One touch finish. There's his only chance.
Well, Jesse Lingard, who's yet to register a goal or assist for Nottingham Forest. That was his 6th shot. He's created 8 chances before tonight. He actually played for Leicester. He is a good player. Yeah. He needs to get a run of games and in and off a position where he can affect a football match and see enough of the ball to do so.
Of course,
6 minutes to go before half-time. It's been a successful first 39 minutes for Leicester City, who were on the bottom of the table prior to the start of the night. Here is Barnes now getting the ball back off Vardy, but the offside flag is up already, and Rob Jones very quick to react to the assistant over on the far side. We do have VAR tonight. I don't think I mentioned it earlier that Chris Kavanagh is keeping an eye on proceedings. Of course we have VAR. I think that escaped your notice.
I think one of the things Brendan will be talking about half-time is game management, because I think we noticed the Southampton game and the Brentford game especially, their game management in the second half was poor on both occasions after being in commanding positions. Game management, slow it down, keep the ball at times. You don't need to score 4, 5 and 6. So I think that's going to be the key for Leicester second half after this brilliant first half display, is making sure they see out a game and don't put themselves in a world of trouble.
Five minutes to go before half-time. Nottingham Forest behind by 3-0. This is Williams up to the halfway line, picked up by Brennan Johnson, who cuts infield. It's not a great ball. Madison almost got there, but Koyate did well enough to win it. Loddy now joins the attack, and Nottingham Forest progressing down the left side. Loddy smashes the ball towards goal, and it took a little deflection, almost fed O'Brien, but it was won by Ndidi cleanly, says the referee, and now they break. Dewsbury Hall through the centre circle. He's got Vardy sprinting away to the right. It's going to be picked up by Castagna, and Vardy has continued his run. Barnes is waiting in the centre. It's delivered into the box, takes a deflection, goes behind, and it's away for another corner. Very quick counter-attack that from Leicester City after a promising break down the left for Nottingham Forest.
The turnovers, I mean, obviously Forest are going to take some risks to try and get back in, but as soon as the ball turns over, there is so much space for Leicester.
Madison walks over and just tugs on the bottom of his ear. He was getting a little bit of abuse from the Nottingham Forest fans who are housed in the corner of the ground where the midfielder is taking this corner from. Don't think he's too worried about anything he gets from them right now. He's already scored twice in this game, and Leicester lead 3-0. Here's his delivery from the corner. It's floated to the edge of the box, and Fass with a header which was executed after he scurried outside the box, sends it back to Madison. Madison teases Loddy, then a decent ball in towards the near post, but maybe a bit too close to Henderson, who's dropped on it.
Does Loddy not know he does the pretend to cross with the left foot and drag it back on his right yet? It's only the fourth time he's done it.
Well, I was going to say, well, he's probably watched some video, but he didn't really need to watch any video because he's done it in real life to him for about 42 minutes. 3-0. And you're listening to Talksport live at the King Power Stadium. And all those pyrotechnics and Tifo-led welcome that was instigated by the Leicester fans prior to the start of the match had a real impact on lifting the crowd. Leicester came out of the traps very, very quickly here at the King Power Stadium, and they have made that advantage pay.
What's really nice about Leicester is that in a way they've got Castagna bombing on down the right, and they leave Justin in, tucked in. Barnes gives them the width this side and gives Madison the freedom to then go and cause trouble. And that,
so they can drift in a little bit more centrally.
Well, he can drift in knowing that Castagna's coming up on that right side to occupy Loddy, which gives Loddy a problem. And then Justin just tucks in. So sometimes when they're with the ball, it looks like they've got three at the back because Castagna's so high. And then Harvey Barnes becomes like a left wing back. But it's causing the quality is causing the problems. Dewsbury Hall's been brilliant as well.
12 shots, 5 on target so far from Leicester City. A foul by Johnson on Barnes gives a free kick to Leicester City just 90 seconds before the break now. It's got a rapid first 45 minutes, by the way. It's been intense, by, hasn't it?
Great intensity from Leicester, good quality, lots of chances. Everything you want as a Leicester supporter tonight coming to watch the team play, you've had.
Oh, that was just sloppy from Forest, and Justin's delivered a ball into the box on the left side after a quick free kick from Madison, helped away by Loddy, who had to recover, and it's out of play and away for a throw over on the far side. They just switched off completely there from that free kick.
Yeah, they're at 6s and 7s really. They don't really know what they're doing in this formation. They look uncomfortable. There's no cohesion.
Here is Tielemans from the throw-in on the far side from Castagna. Back to Madison once again. Then Tielemans. Then he wanders in towards the edge of the penalty area, but he's blocked before he does so. Madison's going through the repertoire of tricks now, and he's got it back on the right-hand side. He's teasing Loddy. Comes back. Slows to a walking pace, gives it to Castagna. Tielemans round the corner. Castagna trying to cause Loddy problems now, and he's done that. He's robbed him of the ball. It's back to Madison, a chance to cross. He wanders into the box. He goes one way, then the other, then back towards Castagna, who's got space to deliver into the box. He's flicked away by Koyate and comes out to the edge of the 18-yard box. There's going to be 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first 45 on Talksport as Brennan Johnson chased towards the corner flag to try and clear, and then played it against Justin. It's out for a throw into Nottingham Forest deep inside their own half. We're back with Nottingham Forest next week. They've got Aston Villa on Monday night. Game night, we'll be there for that one at the City Ground.
That's becoming a huge game for them, isn't it?
Steve Cooper going to be there.
I hope so, for his sake. Yeah, he deserves to be. Lots of new players.
Very difficult if you lose a big derby match so heavily, though, isn't it?
It is, but you know, if you look at the unique circumstances, he's to come up with a team that had so many lone players.
I mean, he did a remarkable job to get them promoted. Absolutely remarkable.
I'm not sure any manager in the world would be able quickly to get 20 new players into a system and work it.
Absolutely. But the only reason I bring it up is because we know the history of the owner.
Yeah.
We know how trigger happy he has been in the past with...
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised, Sam. If we woke up tomorrow morning and it was done. I mean, you know, football, he's probably one of the... It would be one of the most sympathetic... probably the most sympathetic I'd have felt for somebody losing the job so far this season.
Absolutely. Good bloke as well, Steve.
Yeah, good bloke.
Here is Justin, but his team are having a bad day here. Fass on halfway. They thought they'd cause Leicester a bit of a surprise by changing to a back four. It hasn't worked. Here's Dewsbury Hall trying to deliver the ball into the box, and it's won again by Dewsbury Hall on the near side, because Forest just a little bit lacklustre now. They know that the likelihood is here they're already beaten before half time. We're into added time at the end of the first half. It's 3-0 to Leicester, given away by Barnes and then picked up by O'Brien and cleared away. That's a bit of a different reaction from the Leicester supporters, isn't it? Leicester and their fans were hoping that tonight was a chance for them to record a first win of the season and drag themselves off the bottom. They're more than halfway to doing that. Their record of holding on to scenarios like this is not great. Their second half record is abysmal. But even Leicester can't throw it away from here. 2 James Maddison goals and 1 from Harvey Barnes means at the break it's Leicester 3, Nottingham Forest 0. I like that one. I like that one. 3 changes for Nottingham Forest. Remo Freuler, Serge Aurier's first appearance for Nottingham Forest, and Ryan Yates all coming on at the start of the second half. Nico Williams is off. Freuler's gone into midfield. I can't see Lewis O'Brien. Yates is coming on for O'Brien, and Freuler on for Kouyaté. So there are the 3 changes. Samari's on for Ndidi for Leicester City. I think that's a recurrence of an injury. That's a like-for-like switch, although I don't think that Samari's got the same level of quality as the player that he is replacing. Certainly has
very kindly said
the running power, I don't think, of Ndidi. We're underway in the second half. Blue shirts of Leicester City shooting from left to right. They've got Ward in goal, Castagna, Fass, Evans and Justin, then Samare, Dewsbury Hall and Tielemans, Maddison, who's been excellent, Vardy and Barnes. Nottingham Forest, Henderson in goal. Their right back Serge Aurier now, Cook, McKenna and Loddy. In the heart of midfield they have Freuler and Yates, and then it's Gibbs, White, Lingard and Johnson behind Awoniyi in attack. So no real change of system.
No. I mean, Freuler's an experienced guy. I've seen him play well many times. He knows the role, so I would imagine he'll get himself much closer to Maddison.
Giving the ball away to Samare, who's given it back to Lingard, then won it back again. Tielemans looks to send it wide towards the right. Aurier's lost his coordinates and Barnes is in behind him. It's then Barnes to shoot towards the far corner. An easy save from Henderson. He didn't get enough power behind that. An easy catch from the on loan Manchester United man.
I think the most difficult thing for Steve Cooper, or disappointing thing, is the way they've gone 3-0 down. It's been quite passive. You know, they've not got near people and competed. It's a derby. You're near the bottom. So disappointing.
Forward by Aurier, looking for the run of Gibbs White. Gibbs White plays it against Samare, then throws it in very quickly to Brennan Johnson, whose ball to the left is aimed towards Lingard, but it's cut out by Castagna in the right fullback position. Cook wins it, charges through midfield. Gibbs White tries to take on Samare, a little bit scrappy now. Be interesting to see what happens in this second half, because of particular concern to all the Leicester supporters that I spoke to at half-time was their record after the break. They've conceded on average 2.5 goals after half-time. That still won't be enough to get Nottingham Forest.
So they'll still win.
Back in this game.
3-2.5. That'll be a first.
It's on average.
I know.
Loddy back to McKenna, and then all the way to Cook, who drives the ball forward, looking for a Wonyu, trying to get in behind Fass, and Evans comes across and tidies up for Leicester. Justin keeps it in, hooks it over halfway, and it bounces twice in the Nottingham Forest half before Cook is allowed to send it back to the goalkeeper. Do Leicester have to be a little bit careful? Do they have to, in a sense, change their game plan? Because by being assertive and open like they were in the first half, actually they gave Nottingham Forest a few opportunities. Yeah. Being more conservative actually preserves their position as the controllers of this game.
Yeah, I think the key to that is your fullbacks not bombing, or if they do, very rarely, and choosing those moments very carefully. And your two midfielders of Tielemans and Samare, again, choosing their moments when to go forward and letting the other four really go forward and cause any more problems. Keep a nice solid base of 6, and then you should be fine.
We plan to bring you the reaction from both managers in the sports bar tonight with the boys straight after the conclusion of this match. Here is Gibbs-White looking for a Wonyu. Again, good defending by Fass, who's just done well. Bustled a Wonyu off the ball and played it out towards the near side, and it's away for a throw in to Nottingham Forest. 3.5 minutes gone in the second half. It's Leicester City 3, Nottingham Forest 0, and you are listening to Talksport with Danny Murphy, Sam Matterface. Adrian Durham is here as well, helpfully tuckling into a sausage roll. The best sausage rolls in the country are here at Leicester City. Our football editor Jason Bourne is here, a regular attender at the King Power Stadium. Got himself one. Got Durham one, me and you, we're just sitting watching on.
Well, he did ask me to be.
Did he?
Yeah.
Right, okay. No, don't worry about it, mate, it's fine. I'm not hungry, I'm fine, yeah. I'll get through it. 5 minutes go in the second half. 3-0 the score. It's Castagna back to Madison. Centrally, the ball is now with Samare, and then it's worked out wide towards the left, and Justin starts to speed forward onto Harvey Barnes, who has already registered once today. Round the corner to Dewsbury Hall, back again to Barnes, into the centre, blocked by Cook, out for a corner to Leicester City, who again, whenever they come forward like that, they look in tune, they look lively.
Yeah, I'll tell you what was really cute about it is that Justin's kept his position and let Harvey Barnes do the one-on-one. And when Castagna burst past Madison to get himself in the box for the cross, Madison tucked into this right side of the right side of the pitch. It's a definite awareness of game management. They've obviously talked about it, because Madison normally would be in there. We saw Castagna go and he dropped himself in, and James Justin did the same by letting Barnes go on 1v1 and didn't crowd his space.
Well, Nottingham Forest's vulnerability from corners could be another problem here for the away side. It goes into the middle towards Fass, who shoots after a deflection off the back of the heels of Samare, and then he shoots over the top of the crossbar from a wide angle. But again, that wasn't great defending from Nottingham Forest as that ball came in from the left-hand side.
It was half a chance for Fass, wasn't it? Don't think he was expecting it. Maybe his perm got in the way.
There is some perm, that, by the way.
I don't think it's a perm.
You don't think it's a perm?
No, it's not.
No, it's all the rage now, the perm.
Is it?
Oh, it's back in massively.
Well, that doesn't affect me, does it?
No. Hairstyles haven't affected you for a very long time.
Correct. Style hasn't affected me for a long time.
I think I could have a go at it though. I'm getting my hair.
I think the one thing you could do is change colour quite quickly with your hair. I know that's for sure.
That's 2 footed above the ankle. We didn't need VAR for that, did we? Ball has had a play over on the far side. And it's thrown in by...
You told me that in confidence one day, didn't you?
Yeah. as I said to you at the time, it was just for men. Castagna.
Oh, he's in.
Oh, that's a big mistake, and they're in behind here. And Wonyu come and Ward has carried the ball away. It's come back out on the edge of the area to Johnson. Johnson's miscontrolled it. He's taken it into the box, and then Wonyu tries to shoot, and it takes a deflection behind and away for a goal kick. But that was a real odd situation where Wonyu got in behind what was a rather discombobulated Leicester defence. It pushed up to the halfway line. I thought he was going to be offside.
Well, he might have been on the replay. Whether he was or he wasn't, he should score. It's another poor finish. No conviction in it, no confidence. I actually thought Ward could have had a better starting position, a bit higher, and he would have got there, but he did well. It's a good save, to be fair to him, but a poor finish. Well, the striker really lacking confidence.
Remember, this is a Leicester team that haven't kept a clean sheet at home since they drew with Aston Villa on April the 23rd.
What year?
2022. Dewsbury Hall playing it down the left. Barnes trying to get in behind. Aurier trying to get back at him. Does well, gets the ball, sends it out for a corner. And whenever Serge Aurier does dive in like that, there is always a panic, because as Jose Mourinho reminded us in the All or Nothing Tottenham documentary, you've got a penalty in you. And he did swipe in there at speed, but he did very cleanly win the ball. It's out for another Leicester City corner. They lead by 3-0. We've played 7.5 minutes of the second half, and nothing to suggest so far that Nottingham Forest are going to get back into the game, but they are leaving 2 up top from this corner. Johnson and Lingard, just in case the ball breaks quickly.
They've done it. They did it in the first half, to be fair. Didn't cause Leicester a problem.
Here is the corner over on the far side then, taken by Maddison, right-footed in towards the near post, picked by Cook, and then cleared inside the 6-yard box by Freuler, who was in front of Barnes, who was lurking within 10. High ball cleared upfield, Justin deals with it, picked up by Dewsbury Hall. He's told to be calm by Maddison. Maddison takes control.
Well played.
Keeps hold of it and sends it back into midfield with Tielemans. And now Samare travels forward, releases Tielemans, and then there's more space for Maddison, who flicks the ball with the outside of his right boot. Doesn't quite reach Harvey Barnes, is cleared by Cook, but then it's given away again, and Leicester have possession. We gather it so quickly and sharply. They've been at it tonight. Here's Castagna. He holds the ball now just in from the touchline. Played into Tielemans, round the back, gets hold of it, produces a cross into the centre. Barnes is there on the volley, trying to acrobatically steer it goalwards. It did take a deflection by way of Steve Cook, and it goes behind and away for another corner.
Again, positive from Castagna, recognising when Maddison's not in that area. I'm going to get down that line. I'm going to cause a problem. And I have to say, I think Barnes tonight's been really...
Hold on a second, there's a VAR review here for a handball against Steve Cook. That deflection of Steve Cook looked to be a raised left arm. Was his arm away from his body enough for the referee to be told to go to the monitor?
It's not a penalty, is it? He's about 4 inches away from him.
Well, Johnny Evans has suggested that it was a penalty, and Steve Cook told him where to go in no uncertain terms. Play on, says the referee.
Yeah, right.
I think it was just a little bit too close.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
I've seen them given already this season. I think Coutinho had one given against him for a similar sort of offence at close proximity. 55 on the clock, 3-0 to Leicester City. They don't need a helping hand. Maddison into the centre. It's flicked away by Awonyi, picked up by Dewsbury Hall, wide left. Plays it into Evans. Round the corner it goes, and Aurier comes out from right back to get hold of it and clear up to Brennan Johnson, who needs to hold on to it well here. He does that, finds Renan Lodi, who scampers up to the halfway line, then backheels the ball back into Morgan Gibbs-White, who played under Steve Cooper at Swansea and with the England age group team.
He's been quiet tonight. He's done a few little bits. He's a talent, but he's not looked full of energy. He's looked a bit flat. Needs to be, go and demand the ball, go and make things happen, show you quality.
Well, Leicester's only win in 6 previous Premier League meetings between these two was a 3-1 victory at Filbert Street in December 1998. Emil Heskey, Matt Elliott and Steve Guppy scored for Martin O'Neill's Leicester. Pierre Van Hooijdonk was sent off for Nottingham Forest. It's only the 24 years ago. Lingard out wide to the left, collected by Gibbs-White, moves to the edge of the penalty area, skips back in. Lingard too tight to him. Gibbs-White wants a free kick.
Good numbers back from Leicester.
Leicester got back in numbers and managed to huff them out of an attack. It's won by Yates in midfield. Freuler wanted it, didn't get it. Dewsbury Hall is down, or is it Castagna who's down? On the left the ball is with Lodi. Lodi plays it centrally. Evans then gives it to Maddison. He kicks it out, and Castagna needs a bit of treatment and a bit of help down in front of us here in the main stand. It's 3-0 to Leicester City. Tomorrow morning on breakfast we've got Ali McCoist and Laura Woods and Stuart Pearce joining the fray at 8 o'clock. We've got live commentary tomorrow night of 2 games from the Champions League on Talksport and Talksport 2. Wednesday night 3 games for you available on the Talksport network, and then Manchester United in action in the Europa League on Thursday. Next weekend we've got Manchester City against Southampton on Talksport 2 on Saturday at 3 o'clock. No 12:30 this week. We've been dispatched to Goodison Park on Sunday night at 7 o'clock. That regular kick-off time. You're coming to that, are you, Ed? Good. We'll be there.
Is that Everton Man U?
Everton Man U, looking forward to that.
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Thanks, 7 games unbeaten. Castagna in the right full-back position. We're back underway and he's back on his feet. Cleared away by Vardy, who's coming back from an offside position. Aurier engages with Dewsbury Hall, and the free kick's already been given to Nottingham Forest, so no action is going to be taken.
I was just going to say, Sam, on that last Forest attack, which was a good move, I was really pleased to see the reactions and recovery runs from Maddison, Samari, even Barnes on the left-hand side. Everyone getting back in, numbers behind the ball. Sometimes the players like Maddison, who you've wondered, you've contributed to get your team into this position, been the best player. You can switch off defensively. So can Tielemans, but not then. Both of them back there, back at it. Exactly what you want.
It's been a weekend of hat-tricks, hasn't it?
And, just thinking that.
You wonder whether or not an opportunity for James Maddison to get a hat-trick tonight. He's had such a pivotal role in this team this evening. And he's now reached 50 goals for Leicester with the 2 that he's come up with today. So he's already got to a milestone with that terrific free kick. What a way to score your 50th goal, though Danny did tell me at half-time that he would have saved it.
I would have saved that.
Castagna, back to the goalkeeper Danny Ward.
Do you know what, I was just trying to think of anything, thinking of the negatives of Maddison for Gareth Southgate, and we were talking earlier about, we all agree he should be in the squad.
Yeah.
He very rarely lasts the 90, does he? He seems to fade away a bit in second halves at times. Maybe a bit more fit, bit fitter. But in terms of an impact player, for sure, we should, we all believe he should be in the squad. But I'm just trying to look for things outside the box that might be. He does. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the stats. I'm going off games I've seen recently. He does tend to come off in games.
One to investigate, I think, because it's things like that, isn't it? There's a small marginal things that might be against him. Ball cleared away by Dean Henderson under pressure from Vardy out towards the far side. Leicester doing very well to try and strangle the life out of the game now and not allow Nottingham Forest to build up any rhythm. They are going to try and make a couple of extra changes though. Patson Daka's going to come on for Leicester.
Vardy, probably.
A couple of players getting stripped and ready for action for Nottingham Forest as they look to try and go for it. They've already made 3 subs, they've got 2 more. And at the moment Leicester look pretty comfortable, but they have dropped 27 points from winning positions in 2022. 11 more than any other team. And Forest fans are still singing over on the far side. Well, look, they're delighted to be here, aren't they?
Yeah, but they want more than this. Singing or non-singing, they want to see better than this. Actually, just talking about that Maddison thing, that point, you could argue he wouldn't get as tired if he wasn't having to do as much individually for the team, I suppose.
Well, he's been brilliant so far. He's just been fouled though on the halfway line. The ball has broken out to Castagna. Castagna back into Dewsbury Hall and then kicked out by Loddy. And then Rob Jones will bring matters to a halt so that Leicester can get some treatment for James Maddison. He went down on the halfway line after it was a bit of a clumsy tackle from behind.
I don't think there's much in it. I think this is maybe come off as a hero moment. His job's done. Nah, nothing in it.
He's got a little flick on the ankle. He doesn't look particularly happy though, does he?
No, but maybe he lands on the back of his Achilles,
Look at him. He doesn't look happy at all. He's got his hand on his face.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't mean much. Come on.
He's such a cynic.
Well, look, he'll be up in a second. He's just working out whether he's tired enough to come off or not.
Off comes Awonyi and is replaced by Emmanuel Dennis, the summer signing from Watford.
Well, you have to say that Emmanuel Dennis is probably a better finisher, than Awonyi. The 2 chances we've seen tonight, no confidence at all.
Well, he only scored once in his last 18 appearances, Emmanuel Dennis. He's on the pitch now. And we are going to see Patson Daka as well, who's come onto the pitch for Jamie Vardy. So a substitution apiece. Awonyi off and Dennis on. And Vardy is off to be replaced by Patson Daka. Patson Daka, who started the game against Leicester, against Tottenham Hotspur for Leicester. And actually I was at half-time speaking to a Leicester fan who just kept saying to me, yeah, but we played this well in the game against Tottenham away from home, and look what happened there. Talksport live at the King Power Stadium. Leicester City 3, Nottingham Forest 0. And here is Yuri Tielemans back to Johnny Evans out wide to Castagna, and now he travels infield, being watched by Lingard, but they're being given the run around here a little bit. Nottingham Forest, they can't get close to Leicester. Madison's back on his feet, as predicted by Danny. A little flick by Tielemans, which was too elaborate, a little bit showboaty.
It was there to shoot, it was there for the shot, it was a great move.
Madison's got it back again though, on the right side, again not being watched closely enough. Evans out to the wide right position, touching the touchline is Castagna, wandering in centrally now. Madison into Daka, the return ball was poor from Patson Daka, and the Zambian gives the ball away, and it's cleared away. Jesse Lingard with a high foot, and the bouncing ball was met by Justin, and the high foot into the face of Justin is going to generate a yellow card for Jesse Lingard. Well, at least that's 3 yellow cards. You wanted a few more than that.
Yeah, I know it seems like a silly thing to say in many respects, but you want to see a reaction, don't you? You want to see players getting stuck in, and the more tackles you make, the more chances you've got of getting yellows, and that's fine when you're losing. Get yourself in, make an impact in the game.
Castagna out wide into Madison. Madison travels infield, plays it back towards Tielemans, and then goes wide to Castagna once again. Again, Madison, look at the space he got. He just moved off Freuler there and just wandered into space. If they popped the ball back to him, he was in a great position to receive it. And the ball had gone out on this near side for a Nottingham Forest throw before it was sent forward, so we're going to have a reset here once again. Emmanuel Dennis still yet to touch the ball in Nottingham Forest colours tonight. You are listening to Talksport, and it is Nottingham Forest behind at Leicester by 3 goals to 0 with Now Sports. And don't forget, with Now Sports you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Leicester Nottingham Forest live right now for $11.99, no contract. Search Now Sports. And we'll be with Nottingham Forest next Monday night when they take on Aston Villa as well. Here is Aurier down the right side, getting into a tangle. Dennis in the box. Fed tries to shoot towards the far corner, and he shoots it wide, despite the fact that he was one-on-one with Danny Ward. I never got excited because I thought he's so far offside, there's no way this is going to count.
It takes a lot to get you excited, doesn't it?
Not really.
Some of us are more easily pleased. I was open for the game's sake that he took that in the corner and we had a game on.
Hold on a second. You are definitely not the most excitable one out of the two of us two. You are almost
Sam, it was good irony.
Second only to Mills in miserableness.
I'll take silver. I'm going to have to work on that. I want the gold back.
Danny Mills, actually, when he goes on holiday...
In fact, I take offence to that.
He's having a good time.
I've tried really hard to be more positive recently, just like Aid. I'm going to go back on the misery bandwagon. That's the way you like it.
I just like you fitting into your little stereotype.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
Here is Lingard, back towards the halfway line. On to Renan Lodi. Back to the halfway line, and then it's picked up by Morgan Gibbs-White, round the corner, onto Yates. Yates charges forward, looks up, plays it towards the right now, and now Brennan Johnson takes over on the attack, right to the edge of the Leicester penalty area, sends it into Gibbs-White, whose cross is headed away by Johnny Evans, and then picked up by Madison, and now Patson Daka with his lightning pace runs to the halfway line. Did well to hold on to it actually, because he didn't have too much support, and now Barnes has gone steaming through the centre, but Madison has gone wide to the left to Dewsbury Hall instead. Forest have got back in some sort of shape, and Leicester are quite content to hold on to it on the halfway line, leading by 3 goals to 0, and knowing that there are 23 minutes to go.
It's good play. I like keeping possession when you're bad touch from me. But you can see why Leicester second half sometimes do concede goals, because they still play this attacking, expensive football with the front five, if you count Tielemans, who loves to get forward, who's not the best defensive midfielder in the world. So they do leave themselves open.
Here is Dewsbury Hall, wide on the left, taking on Yates, gets to the edge of the penalty area, and Barnes, now Madison, trying to turn, gets a lovely little Cruyff turn to get it onto his left foot, shoots towards the near corner, but didn't get enough power and accuracy in that, and it goes wide of the right hand upright. Never scored a Premier League hat-trick. James Madison did score one once for Norwich City in the Championship 4.5 years ago, but 2 of those goals were from the penalty spot. Evans wins it back high up the field, and Dewsbury Hall trying to poke it through to Barnes. It came ricocheting back towards the Nottingham Forest penalty area. Henderson's got a clear here. He's hit it straight at Patson Daka, but it was a Patson Daka arm that it struck, and a free kick is given, and a huge sigh of relief is gulped in by Dean Henderson. 3-0. Bass flipping the ball on, forward by James Justin, and then there was an offside flag up anyway, so a free kick has been given. Game's just lost a little bit of its momentum, and I think that's by design, really. Mangala is about to come on in central midfield to replace Jesse Lingard. He's been out with a bit of an injury. Aurel Mangala, another one of the acquisitions. Let's go on with a note, by the way. What do you think that note says? Good luck.
I think they've got to take some more risks. I know it's hard when Leicester keep the ball, but take some more risks, as in get higher up the pitch and try and press the ball and risk getting played through. You know, at 3-0, you get the next goal. There's 20 minutes to go, 18, 15 minutes to go. You never know. You never know.
The Forest fans are singing "Shall We Sing a Song for You," and they're certainly trying to enjoy the occasion, even though they're down 3 goals. And that's a lovely run by Brennan Johnson. He skips past 3 challenges, moves to the edge of the box. Now he's trying to take on a 4th. That was one too many. And then between Samare and Fast, they get the ball away and put it out for a corner. But that was a lightning quick run from Brennan Johnson.
Fast did well. He did well because he delayed him. He didn't try and dive in. First rule of defending: delay. Here now he drops off, waits for Samari, look, and comes and helps him. Really good. He's been good tonight, Fast. He's been a real plus for Brendan Rodgers, coming in and taking, the first home game here. He's looked comfortable. Fans have taken to him.
Ball in towards the near post, headed back behind and away for another corner. Yeah, he's not alone. He's a permanent signing.
Yes, I like that. Good.
£15 million. Here's the corner, the second in quick succession for Nottingham Forest. It's corner number 5. Attacking the goal away to our left. Right-footed, it's delivered by Gibbs-White. Digs it right out to the far post, back across from McKenna. Drops inside the area, it's thrashed away by Maddison. And then it's picked up on halfway by Serge Aurier. 20 minutes to go. Into the box it goes, straight into the arms of Danny Ward, who comes out calmly, fingers the ball, pulls it into his chest, and Leicester City have it once again. Out wide on the left, it's James Justin looking for the run of Barnes, or he might get away with it. Just about does. Then crunching into a challenge was Mangala, who takes over for Nottingham Forest, tries to steer it forward. It bounces off Dewsbury Hall, he gets it back again. He's being trapped by Samare. Samare, I think, committed 4 fouls during that particular pursuit. For at least one of them, he's going to get given a yellow card, and it is a free kick to Nottingham Forest.
Mangala, at least he's winning tackles and putting himself about. Good impact, do something. Forcing Samari to bring him down.
Currently Leicester 3, Forest 0, and for the latest odds you can head to Ladbrokes, where right now the odds to score a 4th goal, Leicester 8-5, Forest 27-10, no 4th goal is 13-10. It's all thanks to Ladbrokes. Play at ladbrokes.com, 18+. BeGambleAware.org. 19 to go on a mild night in Leicestershire at the King Power Stadium, where Leicester City are on the verge of their first win of the season. Renan Lodi to take a free kick just in front of the centre circle, clips it high into the air. It's a poor free kick, wasted straight over the top of everybody on rushing into the area and behind and away for a goal kick. What a waste.
It's not as easy as you think, taking free kicks and corners. You're allowed to hit the odd bad one. It just so happens you're 3-0 down when you do it. You get the bigger moans and groans. Be amazed how many players at Premier League level walk away when there's a corner and a free kick, don't want the responsibility of taking them.
Hold on, you said earlier on that you could have saved James Maddison's effort.
I could have.
Castagna up into Daka. Daka trying to turn and run towards the edge of the box. Daka plays it wide. It's on to Maddison. He's on the right edge of the box. A low ball into Daka. A lovely little backheel goal from Patson Daka to make it 4-0. Forest outfoxed by a wonderful piece of skill from the Zambian international. Maddison's assist, Daka's deft finish. It's Leicester City 4, Nottingham Forest 0. Even the Forest fans are clapping that.
They're not, they're just singing, supporting their team. It's a good turn initially from Patson Daka. Gives the ball out to Maddison. Look at that for a pass, and what a little bit of improvisation that is. Great flick, isn't it? Comes across him, lets him through his legs and flicks it. The ball behind his left foot with his right. We've all tried that before. Never come off for me, but it's all, I've tried it. What a finish that is.
Yeah,
that's game.
You'd be surprised how hard that is, actually. So many players try to do that and it just doesn't come off for them. 4-0 and Patson Daka with the goal. He had been suffering from a bit of a virus. He's back though with his third goal in 23 appearances, off the bench and on the score sheet. And now they're in again, and Daka just trying to play a reverse ball to Barnes, but he didn't quite get right this time, and it was too soft and it's cleared away. Brendan Rodgers jumping around, springing around inside that technical area, feeling every moment of it, knowing that his team are on the verge of a big victory here. It's going to take them above Nottingham Forest, off the bottom of the table, and Forest will sink right to the bottom of the league as a result of this. And there's some good fixtures coming up for Leicester City to maybe build a bit of a momentum now. Bournemouth away, not easy because Gary O'Neill's still yet to lose down at the Vitality Stadium. Crystal Palace at home, Leeds at home, Wolves away. It's a bit different to some of the fixtures that they've had to play in the early part of the season, where they've entertained Arsenal and Chelsea.
I think if you were to choose an away game, though, one of the teams who've come up, you'd definitely take, because you know you've got the quality and people like Maddison and Barnes and Dewsbury Hall to open up defences, well, even good defences, but the teams that don't have the quality that the top teams have, that's exactly what you want next game. So it's a great opportunity for them in the forthcoming weeks to get out of the position they're in. Really is.
Well, the Leicester fans have certainly found their voice now. 4-0 up. And hoping that they can continue this momentum into their next game. And Nottingham Forest have got a big home game now at the City Ground next Monday night live on Talksport. They play Aston Villa, another team that have sort of stuttered throughout the course of the season. Then they go to Wolves away, and Wolves will have a new manager by then.
So might Forest.
Brighton after that, they've got a new manager, and Dewsbury Hall just hunting down Forest from the front, and then he's calling the fans to get behind them again and try and keep this atmosphere going for the final 15 minutes. 15 minutes which the Leicester fans could enjoy, probably the best 15 minutes of the season because it's pressure free. They're all on their feet, they're all bouncing. Listen to that noise. Raucous. Tielemans up to Dewsbury Hall. He rushed that effort. He had time and space to get that through to Barnes. He should have taken a little bit more care over that, but it's cleared away by Nottingham Forest. One back by Samara, given away to Yates. He tries to switch the play out to the near side. Johnson takes hold of it, runs down the left channel into Leicester City territory. Back to Remo Freuler. Freuler now onto Mongala, and then out wide into Renan Lodi, but Leicester squeezed back, flexed back into a defensive shape and behind the ball, making sure there's no gaps for Nottingham Forest to exploit. I don't think they moved the ball quick enough when they have been in transition, Nottingham Forest, in this second half. And it's been 23 years since the last Premier League meeting. The last one was won by Nottingham Forest at the City Ground. Chris Bart-Williams with the goal.
He was a good player.
That was the last meeting in the Premier League. But But this is going to be a big victory, a motivational victory, maybe a catalyst for things to come for Leicester City.
Well, it should be. I mean, there's two things about tonight. It's the win, first and foremost, and the way they've won.
Dewsbury Hall trying to get on the end of a ball from Tielemans. He now is hunting Henderson, who's kicking the ball clear over on the far side. Being rushed by Dewsbury Hall, who's been magnificent again tonight. We do worry about Nottingham Forest because of the ambition of the owner. We heard the package from Jim White before the start of the programme. Here's Johnson inside the area towards the near post, and Danny Ward makes a save down to his right hand side. It wasn't the best of efforts, but
no,
that's just another confidence building moment.
It's a super evening for so many reasons for Leicester. It's a good performance, it's a win, looks like everybody's come through it physically, the fans are happy, the manager's going to be under less pressure, and they've got a great fixture next, playing a side that's also newly promoted, and they should be feeling very confident about getting out of the position they're in.
Ball delivered into the box, punched away by Ward. Dennis has it stolen off his toes by Castagna, and it's kicked out over on the far side. 11 minutes to go. Danny Ward desperate to keep a clean sheet tonight. It'll do him the world of good.
Yes.
Back to Aurier, out to the right, looking for a run from Dennis, who's looking to cause problem for Samare. Goes back to Aurier, chance to cross for him. Not really too much for him to aim at in the centre because Dennis is still very wide. He now plays it in towards Remo Freuler. Freuler's crossing to the box then towards Yates, who heads the ball into the air, takes a deflection. Well, I thought it was going out for a corner. It's going to be a goal kick. And Dennis Pratt is about to come on, and he's going to take the place of his compatriot Yuri Tielemans.
We haven't seen much of Pratt for a while, have we? He did okay when he first came. First got a lot more minutes when he first came to Leicester.
He's never ever completed 90 minutes in the Premier League for Leicester. He's been here 3 years. He did start at Chelsea earlier in the season, was subbed off in that game, but he's only been sporadically used, as you say, this campaign. Now you're listening to Talksport, and it is Leicester City 4, Nottingham Forest 0. On Talksport with Car Finance 24/7. Search Car Finance 24/7 today. Eintracht Frankfurt against Tottenham tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Stuart Pearce and Jim Proudfoot, your commentary team. Over on Talksport 2 with Dance, it's Inter Milan against Barcelona. Wednesday night, it's Leipzig against Celtic at 5:45 on 2, followed by Watford against Swansea from the Championship. And on Talksport, Andy Townsend and I will be at Stamford Bridge for Chelsea against AC Milan. Loads of live football to come on Talksport and Talksport 2 over the course of the next week. And October is pretty manic, I must admit. Dewsbury Hall, down the left, blocked by Aurier. Takes a little cannon, and then there's a free kick given by Rob Jones in favour of Nottingham Forest, even though Dewsbury Hall thinks he was fouled.
If I was Brendan Rodgers, I'd be getting Maddison off now, making sure he stays fit, ready for next game.
He wants the hat-trick.
Some things are more important, Sam. Even Dewsbury Hall, get them both off.
Two very key players, I think, for Leicester City as they go forward in this campaign. There's going to be a change, I think, down in front of us. I'm just looking. Someone is getting readied, getting their final instructions on the near touchline. And James Maddison certainly has been the most productive of the Leicester players in the 81 minutes that we've had so far. It's Michael Brighton actually who's getting his final instructions.
Yeah, he'll be coming on the round side for Maddison. Well, we have to pay Maddison the compliments he deserves. It doesn't matter the opposition, you still have to have the intelligence to find the space, create end product, touch, awareness, great passing. He's had an assist, 2 goals. It's been a really, really good and he's actually done his defensive work really well. He's tracked back Loddy when needed. He's got himself back in good positions this second half. He's been quite disciplined, sacrificed himself. They've managed the game well second half, Leicester.
Yes, they have. And that was something actually I wondered about, and they have struggled with over the course of the campaign. I think they took a 2-goal lead against Brentford in the early weeks of the season.
And then the Southampton
game,
being a goal up as well, weren't they, I think?
So it is something that's haunted them on a couple of occasions. They actually took the lead after 50 seconds against Brighton and ended up losing that game as well. And they have had a problem with second halves, but today they're going to be victorious even in that. 4-0 the score, and they're going to keep a clean sheet for the first time since St George's Day.
Well, not yet. They haven't done that yet.
Oh, Maddison's going to get a yellow card for a little...
See, that's why... they're the type of things, right? I don't know how many bookings he's got. But he doesn't need to be on the pitch. The game's won. Why are you leaving him on? He can pull... Anything can happen. Just get him off. He's your game changer. He's won the game for you. It's 4-0. 10 minutes ago he should have been off. 15 minutes even.
Well, he isn't off just yet.
So now that could be what, his third, fourth booking? I don't know. And then you might get him suspended for a big game in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Because he's tired. It's just a silly decision, silly tackle.
Scott McKenna. Out towards the left-hand side. Renan Lodi. Third Premier League booking of the season.
So he's 2 away from a suspension.
Yep.
Because you didn't have the foresight to get him off the pitch 10 minutes ago.
Here is Gibbs White trying to get the ball out on the right hand side, taking on Justin, who plays it against him. It goes out of play and it's away for a throw into Leicester City, deep inside their own territory, leading by 4-0. Their first win of the season is going to come in rather dramatic circumstances at home in a derby. It's a welcome return to winning ways for Brendan Rodgers, who has been under pressure. There's no doubt about that. You know, I know that there's been a lot of talk that one of the reasons they haven't dispatched with his services because they can't afford to, but ultimately, if he is given the opportunity to turn things around, there's every chance that he might. He's in his the worst run of form ever in his career. He's never been on a run like this before, even at Swansea when he was managing there. I think he went 4 league games without a victory, but 7 at the beginning of the season is the longest ever for him. It's not territory he's used to. Here is the change, Maddison for Albrighton, and here's a standing ovation for the man of the match, I think. This is that noise. They appreciate it.
I said earlier, a couple of weeks ago, you've got to be careful what you wish for as a Leicester fan. I think it's easy to make a change and bring someone in, but I'm not sure everyone's going to play the type of football that we see Leicester playing tonight. Good on the eye, 5 attacking players on the pitch, taking risks, trying to win football matches. You might all of a sudden see a much more pragmatic manager come in and in another few months be disappointed in what you're watching. So I think you have to be careful what you wish for, but I've said all along, there's absolutely no way in the world this side's going down. No, it won't be near relegation in a couple of months' time.
Too many chances, too many goals, too many shots. Here's Dennis at the other end, heading the ball goalwards. But the underlying data, which you study when you're looking to look at trends as to which way teams are heading, was always suggesting that there was enough room for improvement in this team that they would not be facing that sort of problem.
Yeah, I mean, you can make numbers, you can
manipulate numbers how you like
to suit your narrative to a degree.
But there was too many indicators suggesting that they were going to create enough chances to score their way out of trouble.
Exactly. And also as well, they're not. Although Maddison's their star man, they've got other really good footballers. They're not a one-man team. Harvey Barnes has been terrific. Dewsbury Hall's a good player. Vardy hasn't hit his straps yet. He's going to have a run where he's scoring goals.
Well, they're going to win this game, and they're about to end a run of 6 straight defeats, about to come off the foot of the table. They are about, would you believe, to register their biggest win here at the King Power Stadium since they beat Newcastle United in December of last year. Here's Castagna, played in by Daka. Daka finds Castagna and he turns it wide out toward Brighton, his first Premier League minutes of this campaign, into...
I'll tell you what's also helped them, the athleticism of the 2 fullbacks, Justin and Castagna.
Oh, that's brilliant from Samare to find first Albrighton and then Daka. Daka then tries to play it centrally. Cook takes it away from Henderson. They're still pressing high up the field here, Leicester, almost winning it back, and Yates has to take emergency action and clear it. 3 minutes to go.
James Justin's who's he seen off over there? Brennan Johnson he saw off. He's seen off Lingard for a while over there. Now it's Morgan Gibbs White, I think. Very good defender.
Well, actually, they left out Castagna the other week because he wasn't performing particularly well. I brought him back, but obviously trying to find the right blend in defence has been a problem for Brendan Rodgers. We know that. Maybe we're just seeing the first building block of a brighter future.
Yeah.
Here on the right-hand side, Aurier's got it for Nottingham Forest. Back in field it goes, and then it's taken on by Cook, and then wider out to Renan Lodi on the left-hand side for Nottingham Forest, who are inside the Leicester half of the field. It's in by Dennis. Great ball, and a good header as well by Gibbs White, coming in off the right flank to dab the ball down at the feet of Danny Ward, and he manages to grab hold of the ball and make the save.
Got to score. It's really good from Dennis. Cuts inside, super ball in. It's a great run from Gibbs White. He's just tried to place it rather than heading it back towards the far post. He's got inside on the inside right position, glancing header. Would have been better going towards the near post, I think, but wouldn't have mattered in the bigger scheme of things.
Castagna plays the ball to Albrighton, who's brought down. Free kick is given on the right-hand side. And it's a rare joy for Leicester fans who have seen their team win for only the fourth time in 17 Premier League matches dating back to mid-April. Steve Cooper looks glum-faced standing in the technical area. He knows this is 5 straight defeats in the Premier League for Nottingham Forest. Bottom of the table at this stage of the season is not a good place to be. Not with both owners sitting here turning up and watching this game. The Leicester chairman's pretty happy that he turned up to watch it, but I'm not sure that Marinakis is.
They've gone out with a whimper, haven't they? They've lost in a really bad way for me. I've not seen anything. The reaction's not been great. Yeah, it looked a bit more solid second half. You could argue that's because Leicester took the foot off the gas.
Yeah. Here on the left-hand side, Justin moving over the halfway line at pace, at speed, and running the ball right down into the left corner of the field. Engages Aurier, and somehow the referee has conspired to give a goal kick from here, and we were a lot further away than him. It looked like a corner kick. Maybe he's got it right. We'll see on the replay, but the Leicester fans behind the goal weren't so sure. Justin didn't do too much complaining, but then again there's not been much to complain about. Madison's got a big smile on his face as he sits on the comfortable airplane style seats that are in the technical areas behind the manager, who's still got his fist rammed into his pockets. Just 3 minutes of added time as Henderson kicks clear. We haven't seen that old kick routine with that familiar old chant much over the course of the Premier League in the last few years, but the Forest electing to kick long tonight.
Do you know what's going to be hard for Forest this week, and it's a big job for the coaches and the manager, is training, motivating, keeping the tempo up, keeping the spirits up, making sure the training's done properly.
Full week before they play again as well.
Exactly, yeah. Working on a system, whether it's a change of system or personnel. This three in midfield have actually looked better. More solid, more physicality.
Gibbs White comes forward over on the right hand side, plays it into the feet of Mangala, and then back towards the right again. It's collected by it's brilliant by Samare, who's intercepted. He's leading a Leicester charge, and Daka's got the pace to keep up. Oh dear. That was a poor challenge from Steve Cook. Now, there were defenders around him, so he was never denying the goal-scoring opportunity, but that was about as cynical a hack as you can get when someone is breaking away, and he gets a yellow card.
The problem is, you know when you're running forward that someone's going to do this to you, but you can't force the pass if the pass isn't there.
That's just out of order.
Yeah,
that's out of order.
Thing is, I've been on the end of them and I've done them, so it's hard to be too critical because you know you're going to get a yellow. But I wouldn't have done it at 4-0. I'd just let them go.
Well, because they're going to rack up, like you said before.
Exactly.
A minute to go of added time, and it's 4-0. And Barnes has it over on the left-hand side, darting inside Serge Aurier, goes down under pressure from Aurier. He's told to get to the floor and to get to his feet, and the referee Rob Jones then turns it over and says, no, free kick the other way, thank you very much.
Harvey Barnes in full flight, fit, full of confidence, is a hell of a player.
Yeah,
he really is. Real handful.
4 goals and 4 assists now.
It's good numbers.
Brendan Rodgers will be pleased with his output tonight, and he will be pleased with the team's overall performance. Nottingham Forest, who are hoping to come here and ambush Leicester City on their own patch, are about to leave with a heavy defeat. One of the heaviest defeats that they've suffered to Leicester in a while. Not very often that Leicester and Nottingham Forest have met over the last 8 years or so, but certainly it is a hell of a spanking. They did beat them at home 4-0 in a relatively recent meeting in the FA Cup, January 2012. Jermaine Beckford got a hat-trick that day, and 4-0 is the scoreline here. Ball is out over on the far side. A free kick to be taken by Nottingham Forest, attacking the goal away to our left in the final dying seconds of this game, knowing that Maddison scored twice. Barnes and Daka have already taken this game well away from Nottingham Forest. Danny Ward desperate to keep a clean sheet. He does not want to concede from this set piece. Set pieces have been the undoing for Leicester for so often now, so long now, as the ball comes in from the right hand side. It's delivered towards the far post. Cook going up for it. It's away by Samare. Further clear it goes from Evans, and then it's seen out on this near side. And there is the sound of victory, a sound that has not been heard at the King Power Stadium too often in the last 6 months. Leicester City breathe life into their Premier League season with a victory over Nottingham Forest for the first time here in 10 years. A sigh of relief from the Foxes fans who have endured a wretched start to this campaign. A sinking feeling for the visitors as Forest drop to the bottom of the Premier League as they're beaten for a 5th successive game. Brendan Rodgers and Steve Cooper knew that the heat was on coming into this huge fixture, and despite his unprecedented achievements, the manner of this victory might just turn the heat up on the Forest manager once again. Leicester will revel in this. Maddison revelled in this. There hasn't been too much to shout about recently, but they have beaten Forest at home, and that will make the Foxes fans feel very good indeed. It's finished at the King Power Stadium, live and exclusive on Talksport. Leicester 4, Nottingham Forest 0.